Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 with Cookie Pirate. Today we're flying the Cirrus SR22 basically straight down the coast of Florida. We're going from St. Augustine, pretty far up in the north, headed down to Stuart, down in southern Florida. Going at 19,000 feet. Should be a 53-minute flight. 107. Climb aboard. Let's go flying. What's going on, Crazanity? Just check out the SS channel in the Discord. Yeah, I will take a look. Quick pre-flight, pull the tie downs and pull the cover. Let's go ahead and get in the aircraft here. Alright, battery switches on. Let these all boot up here. CDI to GPS. Go ahead and set our autopilot up. 19,000 feet, FLC on 110. VNAV on. We'll wait to do nav or the heading. Alright, let's get the weather. So we need to tune... Oh, we gotta wait to turn the avionics on. This is not like the Vision Jet where you can do it right away. You actually have to start the engine. You can turn the avionics on without starting the engine, but that's a pretty heavy load on the battery. 119... 625. See if we can pick it up.
St. Augustine Airport information, Yankee 2100 Zulu. Wind 057 at 12. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 24. Dew point 21. Altimeter tree 012. ILS runway tree 1 in use. Landing and departing runway 1 tree. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Yankee.
Alright, so we got the weather, 30.12, 24 Celsius, the 75 Fahrenheit on the ground. We're going to runway 13, the heading is 133, let's go ahead and set that. Man, this turns nice and fast compared to the one in the Vision Jet. Okay, and we pull the tablet up. Let's go into the flight planner charts. So our airport diagram, we're parked down here, so we're basically going to taxi out on the ramp up this way. And then to Bravo 1 down there. Okay. Avionics are coming off. We don't need them anymore for the moment, and we want to reduce that battery drain there. So turn heading mode on. Nav is off. VNAV is on. FLC and the altitude are both set. Now we can go ahead and load that in. Start the engine up. That should be idle cutoff. Boost pump on. Now we'll bring the mixture back full rich. Throttle full forward. Bump it back and then just a little bit open there. Oh, look at that! That's a... I don't know exactly what that is. It's some sort of a warbird, and it's got like an alligator mouth painted on it. Alright, we've got room to turn around there. Alright, nav and strobe lights on. Ignition to both, and engage the starter. Clear! Alright. Engine is running, oil pressure is immediately up into the green, temperature is rising, alternator switch is on, and we've got good amperage on the battery. Avionics on. Alright, that's coming up there. Okay. We are good to go ahead and taxi out here. Let's release the parking brake. And we're going to turn this way. Obviously, this guy would, or lady would not be in the way. I really wish they would do better, like, ground personnel and equipment movement. Let's take that power out. I'm going to go back this way here. Now, it's worth noting, I've actually been to a lot of these airports that we're going to be flying over. I've actually flown in and out of them in the real world, and I'll point them out. I mean, there's a ton of them. This for 220, so this... I believe this is... yeah, this is the way we want to go. It's like a no stop or no turn or something like that. This is kind of an interesting configuration up here. No, we're going the right way. We could be out on that taxiway, but we can go across the ramp. This is Foxtrot. Now we're looking for Bravo. Does that say Echo? This is probably out of date. And not necessarily the scenery itself, but all the naming of the runways and taxiways. Tap the brakes and slow down. This plane is shimmying for some reason when we hit the brakes. I don't know why. I don't like it. Yeah, even just to tap the brakes, that little gentle bit there, I have no clue why that's doing that. It's odd. Alright, here's the hold bar for the runway. 13 is our departure runway here. Just a tad there. Alright, set the brakes there. Let's go out of the cockpit real quick. Flaps down to half. Let's check the flight controls. Rudder's good. Elevator. Ailerons. Flaps are confirmed at half. Back into the cockpit. Let's go ahead and do a run-up real quick. Power we're going to bring up to 1700 RPMs. A little bit more. Right about there is good. Alright. Mag check. Good. Back to both. That's good. Back to both as well. So the left and right. Good drops. Engine instruments are all good. No warnings or anything. Power back to idle. Okay. So let's see. Heading is on. VNAV is on. FLC is on. Altitude is set to 19,000. 110 knots. Standard takeoff. We're just going to roll down the runway. 77 will rotate, bring the flaps up, positive climb, and 88 knots. And I'll just fly out runway heading, and then we can turn on course about 800 feet above the ground. Alright. Landing light. Clear left. Clear right. We can release the parking brake and taxi out. Interesting that the line curves to the left, like you're going to roll all the way down there to get that extra little bit. This is a plenty long runway. So we'll actually turn this way. Runway 13. Full power. Takeoff power set. Airspeed is alive. Engine instruments look good. 50 knots. 60. 70. Rotate up. Beautiful. Alright. Positive rate of climb. 88. Bring the flaps up.
Engaging autopilot.
And we can engage the autopilot. Keep us right out on runway heading. And already right away, a beautiful view of kind of this low-lying intracoastal waterway. And shores around St. Augustine and the Atlantic Ocean off to the left. Out that way, have a really good view of St. Augustine here in just a minute. Alright, we can begin to turn on course. We're going to turn... It's our ground track 167, so we'll set 190. Nav on, heading is holding. And we can go ahead and turn the landing light off. And let's get a look outside. Beautiful St. Augustine. Kind of looking for the historic area. The airport lies to the north of the town, so I think we're going to see more out this way. Over here is Anastasia State Park. I actually went surfing there. Took a little overnight surfing trip up to the state park. We camped out, surfed in the daytime, had a bonfire and barbecue in the evening, and then went surfing the next day before we drove back home. It's pretty cool. So yeah, really pretty up here. There's a famous old Spanish fort somewhere around here. Problem is I don't remember exactly where it's located. So I'm looking to try to point it out. Those clouds. Airport right back there. Wait, there it is. That's like an old citadel. That's cool. Yeah, look at that. Kind of got the historic town and stuff like that, and the citadel there. A couple more islands. Beach right back there, the state park. It's a really pretty area. St. Augustine is beautiful. Okay. Now we're on the climb, we can go ahead and pull the power back, looking for 30.5 on the manifold pressure. And we'll lean the mixture down to about 20 gallons per hour for peak power. Right about there. Perfect. So quiet in the airplane. Alright. Get out of that chart there, pull the map back up. Our route today is taking us straight down the east coast, Atlantic coast of Florida here, all the way from St. Augustine. Be flying down past Flagler, Ormond, Daytona Beach, New Smyrna Beach. Fun fact, New Smyrna Beach is the shark bite capital of the world. Now, before you freak out, they have a lot of small sharks, and it's a really good surfing spot. And what happens is, these people might, the sharks might see something and they might come up and just nip at your foot or something like that. It doesn't really cause anything beyond a minor injury, but it gets logged statistically as a shark bite, and there are more of those there in New Smyrna than anywhere else in the world. And they're not fatal bites. They're not even really life-threatening bites. I mean, some of them do require considerable medical attention, but it's not like people being eaten by or attacked by killer great whites or anything like that. They're small. We come down over Massey Ranch. Actually be flying right over the Space Coast. Have a great view of Cape Canaveral, the shuttle landing strip there. Coming down over Merritt Island, which is a really cool airport. Cocoa Beach, it's Patrick Space Force Base, Melbourne, and then further down Vero Beach, Fort Pierce, and then our arrival airport down here. Excuse me, hiccup. Stuart. So we'll have a couple really good views. We look off to the left, you can kind of see the interior of Florida. And Lake George, Palatka, some of those other towns out over there. And off to the east, off our left wing, fantastic view of the ocean. I'm going to have to fly in Kansas or something like that so I can't make that joke. We're up at 9,500 feet. The air temperature is 10 Celsius. It's still fairly warm. That's 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So up here at that altitude, that's quite warm. Yeah, basically flying straight down the coast here. Just a couple miles inland. So if you look, we are in a high-wing airplane like a Cessna or something like that. Be able to look down. Straight down below you would see the coast, but in the Cirrus and other low-wing aircraft, the wings kind of block your view of what's more or less directly below you. Clouds are building up a little bit, but you can still see St. Augustine to the back here. The Citadel, State Fort, some pretty neat stuff here. Now you're looking down over this way is the city of Palm Coast, Florida. Not really super fond of that song. Alright, 5 Celsius here. Let's go ahead and turn on the pitot heat. We're going to get the warning to turn it on. We got 7,000 feet to go, more in the climb. It's cool out that way. Nice view, just the clouds kind of building up over the ocean and everything like that, but most of the route today should be pretty nice. Look over the nose. I don't like that. That wasn't visible when I plotted it out. It said it was mostly clear along the coast. I'm going to be mad if it's cloudy the whole way. So it's kind of like clear to scattered clouds. Shouldn't really be too much. Alright, that's Florida in the late spring. Once these clouds build up and the thunderstorms build and everything. Now, over Florida, what happens most of the time over the Atlantic side is you get what is called a sea breeze. So the wind actually blows from over the ocean out here, and it's taking this warm, moist kind of air over the ocean. Clouds start forming, the wind pushes them inward. Where it's hotter over the land, that air rises, it forms clouds, and then you get all of these showers and thunderstorms that build along the Atlantic coast. It's a little bit different with the Gulf, but you can get sea breezes over the Gulf as well. Now, when you get fronts that move through Florida, they bring a land breeze, so the wind actually blows with the front out this direction, and the air often is drier and cooler, so you get just fantastic weather, clear skies across the state. But that tends to be more common in the late fall, the winter, and early spring. Got a nice 16-knot tailwind right now. And we're coming up at 15,000. Yeah, you can't even see the coast. I mean, if we were in the airplane, physically, like, moving our head to look down through, like, here or there, you'd be able to see the coast, but of course that's not replicated in the simulator. Avionics are a little bit more advanced in the Vision Jet. I like the options on the map where you can hide some of these really small airports. But so be it. It's not too cluttered. Right there is Flagler Airport, and it's a little bit clouded, but over here is Flagler Beach. We flew kind of up over all of this is Palm Coast.
Join forces.
18,000, we can set standard pressure. We got 1,000 feet to go.
Castles and dragons, the battle begins tonight. Are you with me? This is our kingdom, and we won't run tonight.
We are leveling off at 19,000. Plane is accelerating up to its cruising speed. And we have a nice, about a 16-knot tailwind right now, which is pretty good. Great view of Flagler right down here. Airport's starting to get covered up by that cloud there, but that's it right there. Been in and out of there many times. Ah, the clouds are building up over Daytona. I was hoping we'd have a really good view of that. Man. Yeah, I don't like what I'm seeing. These clouds were not visible on the satellite. Well, rats. Hey, Mary Cats. Old man yells at the cloud. Get out of the sky! You calling me old? We're not far from Ormond Beach and Daytona just ahead. Oh, that's from The Simpsons. Oh. Yeah, I don't really watch The Simpsons much, but that is actually pretty funny. That's starting to get some vertical motion to it too. Yeah, that's definitely some storms brewing up over here. Wow. Gosh. I mean, now we're almost just completely surrounded as these things are building up. It was nice up by St. Augustine. Man. Well, I don't think we're going to get to see Daytona. Man, I tell me this whole entire route is going to be clouded like this. It looked much better when I was planning this out and first got the flight set up. Should be getting a weather update here in a couple minutes. We'll actually be able to see what the conditions across the area are. There's a really strong sea breeze, so I can't say I'm entirely surprised. And it's humid. A good 227 over the ground. Lean that mixture back just a little bit. Minus 11 Celsius up here at cruise. That's 12 Fahrenheit. What we can go ahead and do before we get a fuel imbalance is switch the fuel tank selector, and we can turn the boost pump off. Hoping we'll get just a little bit of a break. Yeah, a tiny bit you can see down here. Really not much. I believe that's it's one of the main roads just north of Daytona. Yeah, we've just flown south of the airport. It's a bummer. So that there is actually I-4. Runs from Daytona down to Orlando and then into Tampa. Favorite highway in the U.S. No sarcasm in that comment. Gosh, I'm gonna have to do this flight in the morning sometime or something like that when there's no clouds. Terrible. I'm gonna skip this. I need to go back through and clean out a bunch of my playlist and stuff like that. Alright, folks, ahead, great view of the clouds. Out that way, great view of more clouds and the ocean. The clouds. Oh, you look at that, there's actually some pretty considerable vertical development out that direction. Wow. What you can really do about it other than just turn. You could turn weather off and fly in clear skies, but it's a standard atmosphere. It would actually slow us down, we'd lose our tailwind. At least you'd be able to see cool stuff. And the height of these clouds, I don't really think we want to fly below them. We'd be going slow because our true airspeed would be decreased. And additionally, it would probably be a very bumpy ride. Anytime you have convective activity in the atmosphere, which is basically a lot of hot air rising and building up these clouds with this kind of vertical development, that's what we call convective activity. You can expect moderate turbulence below and in the clouds. And then once you get above them, it's definitely a lot smoother. But then you lose the view. But I will say, you know, despite the joking and the true mild frustration about losing the view, there is something beautiful about flying above the cloud tops like this, especially if you're lower and you're just above the clouds. I love flying through them and then breaking out on top of what I call the blanket. Having done that in the real world many times, I can say it's one of the most enjoyable experiences that I have when I'm flying. This down here, New Smyrna Beach. Now we're past it. This is down by like Edgewater and stuff like that. So, interesting thing about Florida is you kind of have water that runs along the coast but a little bit inland, like you see all of this here. This is what is called the Intracoastal Waterway. It's brackish water, kind of rivers feed into it and everything. You do a lot of boating and fishing out here, and then you have this little strip of land called beachside, and that's where all of your beaches in the actual ocean begin and everything. Kind of splits down here. I'm hoping at least we could get a decent view of the NASA facility out here, Cape Canaveral, all that down here. I'm not going to hold my breath, given the weather development. It's showing live weather.
I can't wait to leave this town, 'cause they the
Except all of these airports in the sim are reporting minimal VFR, low cloud cover, or low visibility. Which just doesn't... Something is up with this, because that doesn't match up what the real world weather is showing. I wonder if there's a bug. If this is glitched. So I'm not going to harp on it the whole time, but it's weird because it doesn't seem to match what the real world weather reports are saying. I don't know. I'm actually going to try something. No, I'm not, because that's going to mess with the mechanics in the sim. Just deal with it. So we should have an interesting descent. Yeah, you can see a lot of cloud buildup. Some of these are getting vertical. Some of these higher ones. Good chance of storms. Now, one thing worth noting, a lot of smaller airports actually won't report clouds above 12,000 feet just because that's the limitations of the weather reporting machinery that they have installed. Some of your larger airports will. They'll report clouds 20, 25, 30,000 feet up. But if you look at all of these smaller ones, they're not generally going to report weather above like 12,000 feet. So I'm gonna get up and get another water. I am thirsty as a camel in the Sahara Desert. We had pizza for lunch at work today, and I love pizza. The thing is, it makes you so thirsty afterwards. Definitely important to stay hydrated. It's a 231 over the ground. That is pretty good. Yeah. Well.
Every weekend is the same. I'm the one you try to claim. Yeah, I already know about your game, but I'm not the one to sit around and be played. Call me up with no shame. All your words sound the same. Yeah, I already know about your game, but I'm not the one to sit around and be played. If you come around just to play me, don't bother, cause you're way overdue. Don't even try to convince me. Don't bother, cause now I see you through.
few breaks in the... Yeah, not out that direction. Ah. See just a little bit there, following I-95. Straight south. Well, it's south-southeast, but of course 95 considered a southbound, northbound highway, is what I mean. This says only 21 minutes remaining in the flight. It is going by fast. And at 19,000 feet, I think we need to actually start planning a descent. It looks like we're going to be going through the clouds, which is a little interesting. Alright. 134 point... Let's fix that back. 134.475 for the weather. Hang on. Come on. There we go. Can get finicky sometimes when you're trying to set that. Let's get the weather if we're in range.
Stuart Airport Information Sierra, 2200 Zulu. Wind 067 at 12. Visibility 7. Sky condition 1900 scattered, 5000 scattered. Temperature 28. Dew point 20. Altimeter tree 005. Visual runway 7 in use. Landing and departing runway 7. VFR aircraft stay direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Sierra.
Alright, so runway 7. Let's get an airport diagram here real quick. So that's 1, 2... Okay, so we'll actually be... Whoa, that's going to be interesting. So we'll actually be flying in that way. And we'll actually have a pretty lengthy taxi back down that way. Let's come in. Go down that way. It's 1,500 scattered. Let's see what approach options they have. Runway 7. None. We might take the RNAV runway 12. So we'll be landing with a bit of a crosswind. That'll actually give us a shorter taxi to parking, though. That'll be nice. 1,600 is the minimum altitude. Okay, so 2,000. So what we're going to do here is we'll go procedures, select approach, LPV, RNAV GPS, runway 12. And we'll set Petney for the initial approach fix. They don't let you choose an intermediate. Alright, that's fine. Fly course reversal. No. What are the minimums? Let's bring that tablet back up and take a look real quick. LPV 271. So what we can do is actually scroll on that and set 270. I mean, we'll have the runway. It's going to be quite visible below. 1,500 feet was what they were saying the clouds are going to be. Load. And it's going to shift us a little bit here. 17 minutes. Top of descent is going to be over Valkyria, I believe, is that airport there. Yeah, so that's Valkyria. Oh, come on, click on the airport. Yeah, Valkyria. That one down there is Sebastian. Easy to mix those two up, the ones that sit between, this is Vero Beach and Melbourne up here. Then you have those two airports. We don't have a distance top of descent. It's less than 25 miles. It's probably a little more than 15. So probably about 5 minutes till we begin that descent. Let's go ahead and set an altitude. We can drop all the way down to 2,000 feet for now. And let's actually set direct to that there. Oh, that pushes our top of descent forward over Melbourne. Alright, good thing we changed that. So let me zoom out on the map here a little bit. You can kind of see what it's doing here. We're basically going to fly out over this way past Vero Beach, Fort Pierce down here. Turn in, shoot the RNAV approach there. Alright. Hey, we can see the ocean again. Oh, man. But you know what we can't see? The ground. Well, actually we can just a little bit. We're kind of right out over there and back there. Oh. Alright, here we go, beginning our descent right now. Let's go ahead and pull the power back down to about 40%. 45 is probably okay. We want to try to keep our speed about 155, 160. Alright, minus 10 Celsius right here. It's pretty warm aloft, but with some of the vertical development of these clouds, icing is a potential, and the worst icing is actually found in these types of clouds with vertical development. So as we get lower, we will probably need to turn the de-icing systems on. Alright, so we're descending through 18,000. We'll set the pressure to 30.05. This is what they said on the weather report. Let's taper that power back. Speed is fluctuating just a little bit. Little bit of light turbulence up here. It's probably going to get a little worse as we descend. We will need to keep our eye out. If we get into moderate or worse, we really should try to be below 140. Light turbulence doesn't matter, but moderate or worse, you want to slow the plane down to what is called maneuvering speed, or VO. And right here it says it very clearly, VO 140 knots. So if we do get into moderate or worse turbulence, we'll slow the airplane down to 140. Should just probably be to pull the power idle for a couple minutes. Yeah, the clouds are actually not as high as I thought they would be. But there is some vertical development on that, so we do need to watch. And yeah, here's where we're starting to get bumped around a little bit. Oh, look down here, we actually have a little bit of a clearing. Well, that's a good sign. Should actually have a really pretty approach into Stuart. Alright, the temperature is now 0 outside, so as we descend, all of this should be above 0. But we'll just monitor that temperature, because even when it's up to about +2, and sometimes in the clouds you can have pockets of colder air. You can also have colder air in the immediate vicinity of the clouds, where it's warmer inside them, if that makes sense. But I think we'll be okay without the icing systems. We'll just carefully keep an eye on that. Hope we get a view of Vero Beach Airport. I've been in and out of there, and Vero Beach is actually the home of Piper aircraft, so famous, like the Piper Cherokee is one of the most popular single-engine planes, just behind the Cessna 172. They make several different models: the Cherokees, Warriors, Archers, Arrows, Seminoles are twin-engine aircraft. The Senecas are also twin-engine with 6 seats. Mirage, Meridian, Aztec. They've got a lot of great models. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Please make sure your seatbelts are fastened. We might be expecting a little bit of rough air on the descent into Stuart Airport. Man, that was stupid. Yes, we can. Here it is. Take a look out here. That right there is Vero Beach. And a little tough to see at the moment, but the Piper facility is back down over here. Not modeled in the sim, but in the real world, the building on the rooftop has the Piper logo painted on the top of it. It's really neat. Very remarkable.
Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the
Now that we're a little closer, that right down there is the Piper building. Large facility right there. I'm almost certain Vero Beach would have some custom scenery that might actually have the building with the logo painted on top of it. It's a cool airport. Alright, 10 Celsius at 9,300 feet right here. the wind is shifting to a strong sea breeze as we descend. Cool, we'll have a little bit of cloud time. That is what you would call instrument time, where you can't fly with visual references.
Feeling like it's out gear, driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair, going nowhere I swear, like an outlaw on the run. Dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running.
And here we go, about to break out from beneath the clouds, and yeah, here we go. I think it's starting to get a little bit bumpy. It's actually not bad. Just the clouds down here haven't really seemed to develop quite like as the outer marker for probably the approach into Fort Pierce. This is the Fort Pierce Airport right here. They actually have a really good restaurant on site at the airport. Pretty neat. I've flown in and out of Fort Pierce a couple times in the real world, and I can tell you from experience that the food at that restaurant is really good, especially their breakfast. So all down here is the city of Fort Pierce, and if we look out that way, this is all Port St. Lucie, Florida. Yeah, great view out over this way, though. It's actually not too bumpy down here. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Says about another 6 minutes we should be on the ground. Pull that power back. As our speed is kind of picking up on the descent here as we get closer to the ground. Nice views down here. If you look out that way, right over here is Lake Okeechobee. We actually got to see a little bit of that yesterday when we did our flight down to Key Marathon. Pretty large, very shallow lake. That's it right here on the map, and that's it right over there. We're flying a little bit inland, and then we're going to turn outward. Looking, I don't see the airport yet. Looks like there's a little bit of haze. Choosing the RNAV approach is fine. Alright, let me pull the chart up real quick. I just want to take a look at a couple things here. So the final approach fix is Manor. So that's it right there. We need to be at 1600 when we're passing over that. 660 at Zevpu. However you say that there. And the minimum's at 270. Let's lower this down to minimums. Set 300 on there. Actually is a fair bit hazy. I'm looking for the airport and I actually am not sure. Oh, you know what? I'm actually not sure. I can't see it right now because of the haze. We're still about 10 miles away. Yeah, with the visibility reported at 7, that would explain it. Yeah. Can't see it at the moment. This will let us start descending here. I'm going to turn approach mode on. Heading off, approach on, nav off, VNav on. And we're just keeping the power in as is, flying at 120. We can go half flaps at any time, but I don't want to do so until we're descending. And we can adjust our power then. Bit of a quartering headwind right now. That's why we're kind of angled a little bit away. Great view of all these homes. Look at that golf course. That highway that we just flew over, I'm pretty sure is I-95. Oh, it's even more hazy out that way. It's actually a little bit better up that way. I zoom in and say that's, I think that's, yeah, that's the runway right there. I've got the airport. As we're set up on the approach, we'll just continue to fly it. And as we're descending, our speed is going up. We can go half flaps. bleed our speed a bit. We can't go full flaps until we're at 110, and we need to get the plane slowed down to 80 knots. And yeah, it is starting to get just a little bit bumpy down here as we kind of descend through this haze. Beautiful. Another golf course right here on the water. Take a look at that. Alright, let's pull that power back. Go to power idle for a minute. Just get the plane slowed down. Below 110 we'll go full flaps. There it is, full flaps. Mixture full rich. Landing light on. Boost pump on. Gonna go ahead and switch the fuel selector to the left. And now we can put the power back in. Try to maintain about 80 knots. Ooh, and it is getting quite bumpy down here. Now we're turning back on course here. I've got the runway in sight. We can fly visually. Yeah, that's getting a little bit too slow for my liking. Put that power back in to try to level off a little bit here. That was not good power management right there. Oh, oh boy. This is getting quite squirrely. Alright, we're going to hand fly the approach. We've got the airport. Keep saying 500 because we keep trying to level off right over here. Oh boy. Holy cow. Gosh, this is fun. I told you all buckle your seatbelts. Gee whiz, man, this is... Golly. Holy Lord. I don't hear me say that often when I'm flying this. Alright, let me take that power out. Just float her to the ground. It finally seems to smooth out just a little bit. Power out. We've got a lot of extra airspeed. We carried some extra speed coming in there. Float her down nice and easy. Nice and easy. Beautiful. There we are on the ground. Hit the brakes. Flaps up. Yeah, we're not going to make that turn. Okay. We can make this one here. Too bad this plane doesn't have a restroom. You don't need it when we're only doing a 50-something minute flight. Alright, we're on the ground. That actually was a good landing. That was a very tricky approach with as gusty as it was. I mean, that was a... Look at that taxiway light right there. Alright, we're gonna come up ahead this way. Man, that was one of the squirreliest approaches that I've had to do. I mean, we were getting thrown all over the place. Super Decathlon. No, it's not. Never mind. Actually, yeah, that is a Super Decathlon. That's a really cool plane. Alright, do we have room to park between these two planes? Yeah. I think we do. Let's... No, yeah, they're crooked. Here's where we can go. This is all non-movement back here. So we'll just come back over this way. Kind of park anywhere over here down by these rows of aircraft. Oh, it's a little tight spacing through here. Yeah, we'll park right on the side of this beautiful sky lane right here. Oh, just a little bit more. Good, right there. Alright, we made it. Welcome to Stuart, Florida. Let's go ahead and get the engine shut down. Pitot heat off, landing light off. Flaps are up, boost pump off. Power is idle. Avionics and alternator switches. Idle cut off on the mixture. Stops the engine. Clear those enunciators. Ignition switch to off. Strobe lights, nav lights off. Battery switches. And let's get out. Alright, it is good to be on the ground. Welcome to sunny, hazy, bumpy Stuart, Florida. Oh, man. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the flight. I'll be doing another one a little bit later. I'm not sure where, and I'm not sure what plane, but I've got a little time to decide. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this one. Hope to see you on the next one. And as always, until then, take care. Stay safe.